My name is Akiyah Edwards, and this is my senior project presentation. My degree title is Sustainable Evolution in Adaptive Identity Systematics, and I am the graduating class of Spring 2026. My project for graduating was a podcast. It's called the Player One Podcast. And so, why did I come to MIU? Before MIU, I was at a very low point in my life, and I had gone through the loss of my mother, my grandfather to cancer, both in October 2019. I experienced domestic violence and was homeless for approximately 3 years, and I wanted to find something more for myself. I wanted something different, just because I had gone through these tumultuous experiences. So I wanted to go to a university for sure, because education was very important to me. And I searched on Google for spiritual universities, and MIU was the first result that really resonated with me. So I arrived in Fairfield February 5th, 2024. And I'm the first in my family to pursue a college degree. I was searching for a spiritual community, safe and peaceful places, aligned education, people who want to learn and grow, a softer and easier life. So, what is my degree? My degree is Sustainable Evolution in Adaptive Identity Systematics. I call it SEES. So, my degree theme, SEES, is a self-designed, individualized major focused on guiding individuals toward their highest potential and personal sovereignty. It bridges entrepreneurship, spirituality, consciousness studies, and holistic self-development while treating human growth as an interconnected, evolving system rather than isolated problems. The integrated fields of study, consciousness and philosophy, holistic well-being, entrepreneurship and leadership, and creative expression. So, my program learning objectives, which would be the PLOs. 1, to analyze personal behavior, emotional, and cognitive patterns across the 7 pillars to identify unsustainable identity structures and environmental influences. My PLO 2 is evaluate how beliefs, assumptions, and environmental relationships influence personal development and long-term well-being. PLO number 3, design a sustainable personal evolution framework integrating emotional, mental, physical, spiritual, creative, financial, and purposeful development. This is very important. All of it's important, but this is very important. This is the meat and potatoes of my degree. PLO 4, we have apply. Apply adaptive identity systematics to intentionally reinforce desired identities and behaviors through assumption-based cognitive and behavioral practices. Now, my project overview. My podcast is called the Player One Podcast, where I guide you through the tips and tricks to become a better player in the game of life. Anything under the stars. The problem. People are born into systems that prepare them for the workforce and not for knowing themselves. There's a profound gap in holistic, spiritual, and identity-based knowledge available to the everyday person seeking to grow across all dimensions of life. Now, what is the purpose of the Player One Podcast? The Player One Podcast exists to guide people toward understanding, loving, and nurturing themselves, and offers practical, actionable is very important, knowledge across 7 pillars so that listeners can become the intentional protagonists in their own story. Now, the 7 pillars, what are they? The concept framework of SEES and the Player One Podcast first initially begins with emotional intelligence. Energy in motion is the foundation of all life. Mental architecture, designing the mind you want to live in. Everyday spirituality, connecting to natural law and inner knowing. 4, creative well-being, nurturing the artist within. Financial alchemy, turning purpose into prosperity. Physically fit for life, honoring the body as a vessel. You gotta treat your meat suit good, so we do that as well. And purpose, it should be on purpose. On purpose with an Ikigai integration, and that's finding what you were made for. Those are the 7 pillars for sustainable evolution and adaptive identity systematics. Now, introduction and the background. This quote is very important to me, and it is the reason why I always strive to want to know more and want to become better and better every single day. Every single day there's a lesson. Life, excuse me, life is a really big lesson. So, and a lot of people lack a lot of things within their behaviors, within their mindsets, within their habits. So therefore they create not so great outcomes in life. So what that leads me to, people perish because of a lack of knowledge. Yeah, people perish for a lack of knowledge. I think that's right, yeah. Hosea 4 verses 6, King James Version. The gap. I've said a little bit of this before. Society prepares people for the workforce and not for knowing themselves. Skills like meditation, discernment, emotional intelligence, sound therapy, and social perception are rarely taught. We're not taught these things in normal school. And the world reflects this gap. People are searching for community, for belonging, and for tools to make better decisions across every area of life. Who is my audience for the Player One podcast? Those who feel like the black sheep of the family, those who always sense a different calling, individuals who carry a gut feeling that they too can change the world, but knows that the exploration of self must come first. Spiritual seekers and sovereignty seekers looking for a home. My purpose statement. What is my why? The origin. What began as a personal digital course called Sustainable Evolution became something far greater the moment I recorded my voice with my podcast kit. The joy of hearing myself speak my philosophy out loud was very profound. And in that moment, the responsibility became clear. It was to honor my voice and honor the science behind my degree. So for the individual, it's to help people understand, love, and nurture themselves so that the knowing becomes the fuel to show up differently for others. For the community, it's to build a gathering place for people committed to making better decisions and living with greater intention together. For the world, because when even one person steps fully into their sovereignty, the ripple effect reaches family, community, and generation. Why did I create the Player One podcast? And these are my methods and tools. Episode 1 was based off of emotional intelligence. Energy in motion. Emotion is energy in motion by Peter McWilliams. This was chosen as a foundation because without emotional intelligence, every other pillar is harder to access. The tone for the podcast is set to be gentle, firm, warm, and designed to feel like a collective and timely message from opening to closing. The tools I use, a DJ podcasting kit that I got off the TikTok shop, a soundboard and a microphone stand. I had to use Audacity, which is a desktop recording application. I had to do some online researching with articles and things of that nature, and also my lived experience as the primary source. So it's research-based, so independent study of emotional intelligence through articles, written resources to ground content in established knowledge, experience-based. I'm trying to figure out how to pronounce this. Autoethnographic approach, with I draw from lived history, personal observations, and pattern recognition cultivated since I was 20. Now, the podcast, I like for it to have a hero's journey teaching style. It's inspired by MIU's educational approach, which it's not necessarily MIU's actual teaching style, but that's what I feel like that most of my classes have that style of A deep dive that begins small and ends in profound, practically applicable knowledge or knowing. Findings. I found out that I can really do this all day. Like, it's a job. It's so much fun. It felt natural. Not easy, but natural. You know, I don't like anything that's easy, but I do like to have a feel of ease. Yes. Every part of the process, from topic curation, research, writing, recording, really offered me sustained joy. The kind that signals vocation and not obligation. That was very important to me for my senior project. I didn't want it to feel like a project. I wanted to feel like this is something that I'm doing as a hobby, and I just so happen to, get a degree in it. So that's what I did. So, experience-based curriculum. Personal insights are not stories told for entertainment. It's not gossiping. It's not telling you, oh girl, this, and this girl did this. No. They are refined into teachable insights the listener can immediately apply. The format is the message. The podcast proved to be the most aligned delivery vehicle that brought me closer to an art form where creator and content move together naturally. That's what I wanted. Room to grow, things that I can't expand upon. For future episodes, I will deepen in the length and layered content as the audience becomes more established in the Player One podcast world. Conclusion, PLO competency ratings. The Player One podcast demonstrates an excellent 4 out of 4 across all 4 PLOs. Now, analyze. I have a strong pattern analysis on emotional intelligence and environmental awareness. Listeners are guided to examine their own behavioral and emotional patterns through self-observation. 2, evaluate. Deep exploration of assumptions, survival habits, and adaptive behaviors shaped by environment and belief, reflecting a mature understanding of internal and external conditions. PLO 3, design. A holistic, systems-oriented perspective maintained throughout, framing personal development as a living, integrated process rather than a linear checklist. Oh, this is very important. PLO 4, apply. Okay, we're still recording. Okay. Practical identity reinforcement strategies and accessible behavioral tools introduced that listeners can immediately apply, making the process of becoming intentional and repeatable. You want to continue to do this work every single day, all throughout the day, because the more you change your behavior to view yourself, your habits, and your actions, that you're moving toward your highest good or the best person that you can be in every situation, every single day, and show up for yourself and your community and the world around you, it becomes repeatable. So overall, the project reflects a strong dovetail of C's themes, viewing human development as an interconnected, evolving system through the sequence observe, evaluate, design, apply. Self-reflection. The person who arrived at MIU is not the same person presenting to you today. Through experiences, difficulties, and moments of self-discovery, I have changed in ways I never could have imagined. Who I was broken, lost, and homeless after losing my mother and grandfather. Arrived at MIU in February 2024, carrying grief, searching for a softer life and safe places, and more importantly, education. What MIU gave me: transcendental meditation, clarity of the mind, social perception skills, community, the Dharma class that birth sees, the courage to design a degree that no one else has. Who I am now: I am a collaborator with the Unified Field, a student of life, a podcaster, and the first in my family to graduate with a degree I designed myself. One takeaway to offer the world that I can give is it is our societal responsibility to be the best person that we can be for the betterment of everyone around us. Thank you so much. Press play on your life. You are the most important player in your story. Create a beautiful masterpiece. My name is Akiyah Edwards. This is my senior project presentation for Sustainable Evolution and Adaptive Identity Systematics. Thank you.